Jake, you excited counting down the days now?
Yeah, I've been a bit itchy for a couple of weeks now since we played against North, and yeah, it's excited to get out there, get to the real deal, and yeah, you guys can only speculate for so long about things, so you need to see some real footy, and yeah, hopefully we give you some good footy on the weekend.
Speaking of which, you made some of us nervous today. You left the track pretty early, didn't come back. Are you okay?
Yeah, that's just load management stuff. Yeah, we've got a main session on Thursday, so I'm on a bit of load management throughout the week, but no, I'm all good.
When you go into this season knowing how much fitter you are than what you were at the start of the previous year, and you know how well we went last year, how confident are you that you can have an even bigger impact?
Yeah, I'm confident in my game at the moment. Yeah, I've just got to keep levelling up. Last year was great, but you know, I think I've got another level to get to, and yeah, it's tough being a key forward in this league, no doubt, but I think I've got the processes in place to be a good, consistent key forward and be a good, consistent leader and player for this team. And whether that results in goals every week or marks, and so be it. But yeah, I just want to have an impact and be a consistent leader.
Going into last year, imagine you would have been hoping that you could have a good year, and then you know when you know you can kick those goals and know you can have that impact. What does that do for you going into another season?
Yeah, it fills you with a good amount of confidence and self-belief that being tried and tested, that you can stack up against some of the best. And yeah, I sort of know the recipe to be able to be a good player in the league now. And yeah, like I said, it's going to work some days it won't. And you know, I'm just going to keep being consistent and making sure that you know, I can be a better player most weeks than not.
Is that knowing that Oscar is pretty much fit and he's going to be there for most of the year this year, unlike last year, does that make it easier that between the two of you can share that load?
Yeah, for sure. It's exciting to have him back fit and firing, and we've played a lot of footy together in patches, and we're very confident in each other's games, and we know how we like to play and lead, and so it's good. Fills me with a lot of confidence knowing that, you know, even though sometimes I can't see him on the field, I know where he's going to be and what actions I can sort of act off him. And yeah, it's good. There's another couple of guys out there as well. Hopefully Archer Reed's in line for a debut this week maybe, and guys like Jack Williams, Bailey Williams. We're going to have some good targets down the line, and you know, for a lot of the year it's probably going to be me and Oscar, touch wood. But yeah, I'm just excited to get to work with him, and hopefully we can be a bit of a duo.
What have you made of Archer Reed this pre-season?
Yeah, I've been so impressed. Since he come through last year, I mean, you just look at his stature, he's huge, the way he runs. He's a blank canvas and he's put on a bit of weight, he's still got a bit to go, but just the way he applies himself to learning structures, learning game plans and getting the best out of himself. He plays an interesting position where if he's probably going to be playing in the side, he'll be playing forward and a bit of ruck, which is a tough position, no doubt. But he's got the tools to be. I think eventually he'll just be a mainstay key forward once he's filled his body out, he's put on a bit of size. But yeah, I think that's probably his role in our side at the moment, and we've just got to be there to support him and try and help him grow as a player. And we just need him to be a consistent player in our team. We don't need him to be trying to kick all these goals. He just needs to go after his role and try to do that best as he can. And me, as someone who's for a lot of my career been a bit of a role player and had to really knuckle down and roll to stay in the team, I'll try and pass on some wisdom in that regard, and obviously try and help him with his forward craft and hopefully get him on the scoreboard.
How hard is that? Because it felt like most of your career you were played in a different position to what you were as a kid, yeah. and finally when you play key forward you kick 50 odd goals. Like, is it going to be challenging for him to get his head around not being the main guy when he plays footy again? Yeah,
it's a bit of an apprenticeship. Mine was probably a bit longer than hopefully his is. But yeah, I think he's got the level of maturity at such a young age to understand what's going on. If he doesn't, he'll figure it out pretty quickly, probably the hard way. And I think that's all a part of the process for a young player growing into the player they want to become. Roles are so important. Everyone's got a role in the side, but some roles are more important than others. And sometimes to stay in the team, you just need to buy into your role. And sometimes that comes at the expense of maybe getting a few extra kicks or maybe a couple of goals, but it is a niche role, that ruck forward. So Jack Williams did a great job with us last year, and he just knuckled down on his role and just sort of understood that while, you know, he might not be on the ground for as long as other guys, when he's on there he needs to maximise his output. And yeah, I think Archer will be looking for the same thing. A lot of those guys are bouncing off each other at the moment. sort of learning the forward craft, but also the ruck craft, and how you can have such an impact in sort of small hits, playing in the ruck and small hits up forward. But I did it a few years ago, did the pinching in the ruck, and I won't be doing that again. So hopefully they can get it right.
So you look at your forward line, like Oscar fit and healthy again, Noah Long fit and healthy again, Matt always comes down to the club, and Archer Reid available. Could be a very different forward line to what you played with last year. Is that exciting, or are you worried about teething problems? Like, how do you approach it?
I'm excited. I mean, it's not. Hopefully, we can get the chemistry going straight away, but it's going to be a long process, I think. There's a bit of a selection squeeze at the moment in our forward line, which is great. I think the pressure for spots can only make us better. But guys like Matty always coming through. Brocky is looking really good at the moment, so hopefully he can turn into the player that we drafted him. I mean, traded for him, and Longy, just all those guys. I think it's a new look forward line, which is going to be based a lot off how we play our roles, and hopefully we can get a few looks, a few inside 50s, and get to work. But it's going to be exciting, and it might change week to week in terms of who comes in and out. But I'm excited to get more guys through. I think as forwards we like to get about 8 in the team and just sort of rotate them around everywhere and fit everyone in. But if I had my way, I'd have 10 of us in there and just rotate us through half back line or whatever. But it's exciting. We've got plenty of guys fit and available and putting their hand up for this week, which is good.
On the eve of the season, I guess, what do you see as a pass for you this year? Is it winning a certain amount of games? Is it improvement in a certain area? What's a pass for the year?
Yeah, it's really difficult to put wins and losses on it. I think we won 5 or 6 last year and probably left a couple of games out there. But I think it's, Minnie's spoken about it, is just forming our identity that one day we'll be able to play finals. And whether, I think, if we get it right more than not, I think the wins will take care of themselves. But we're trying a new game plan. We've got so many new faces on board, and we're ultimately trying to build a finals team and one day win a premiership. So we're going to have good days, we're going to have bad days. We've just got to believe in something and stick to it, and hopefully that turns into more full points than not.
Does chaos help you as a forward with this game plan, or is it harder to adjust to when you lead and when you go up for footy and stuff?
Yeah, some days it will, some days it won't. I think I'm really optimistic about it. I think every team this time of year says they want to play faster and use a corridor and whatnot, but I think it's a game plan that revolves around the live ball a bit more, when sort of in the past we've probably been more of a controlled team, and that's come at the expense of sort of open ball movement, faster ball movement that we're trying to go out at the moment. So we feel like we've got a side right now that complements sort of the live ball game and getting after it and winning our own ball, and then the chaos sort of comes off that, and that sort of naturally will turn into faster ball movement. But me as a forward, it's going to be great some days. It's going to be see boys streaming through the middle of the ground, and it gives you options to lead what side of the ground out the back each side. And some games we'll be looking like we're going to get out the back, and there'll be a fumble or whatnot, and then the other team will go back and kick a goal. But we've just got to be ready to adjust to what's in front of us. I think that's all forwards do. They anticipate turnover, anticipate your teammates taking the ball clean and firing out to someone who then can hit you up. It's just, it's so hard to tell, but I'm really optimistic and excited about the way we're going about it.
Do you feel natural yet?
I think it is natural because that's how you grew up playing the game. The last few years, it's been difficult for us to get faster ball movement for whatever reason, but I think you never lose that natural side of the game because that's how you've always grown up playing the game.
Back to Oscar, would you like to see him commit long term?
I think, sooner rather than later. I think for him it's just about getting out there, playing footy, showing everyone what he's really capable of first, and then I'm sure the club and his management himself will take care of it. But there's been a bit of chat about it recently, and I'm as a mate, one of his good mates, have just told him that I'm there for him if he needs to chat about it. Sometimes it can get a bit too much, as I experienced it a little bit last year. I know being in the media spotlight is not something that he really enjoys too much, especially when it's about that stuff. But I'm sure he'll be a legend for this club for many years to come.
Jake, you talk about how many forwards you want to play. Do you guys have a little inside bet on who wants to kick the first goal of the year?
I'm not sure. Can we even do that? Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I just picture the game and the ball going up and the crowd going crazy, and getting the first inside 50 would be great. I think that would just fill us with a lot of energy, and hopefully we can get a score on the board first. But I think it doesn't matter who kicks goals for us. We just need to kick a winning score. It'd be great if everyone can get a little bit of a lick out there. That's perfect stuff. But yeah, I'm not sure. But hopefully little Noah Long can get on the end of the first one. That'd get the crowd on their feet.
We've been watching the TV and the chaos that the Gold Coast and Brisbane blokes have been living with. Like, when you see what you've just trained with there, can you get your head around what they're living through up there and about to come down?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy what's going on there at the moment. We do feel sorry for the people in that part of the world and what they're experiencing. So yeah, your heart does go out to families and that have been affected by it. It's not the ideal start to teams like Brisbane and Gold Coast this year, who've had to sort of make training adjustments and whatnot. And you know, Gold Coast should have had a game in the bank by now. So yeah, I'm sure that's just. I feel like how we've lived the last few years with COVID and that, teams have become more adjustable to stuff like this happening and meeting the requirements that are needed to perform. But yeah, I mean, Gold Coast and us are both going into the weekend having not played a game, so it's a level playing field, I guess.